Hey, come again in a new fucking video, and today we have a cool fucking reaction as usual. Forget to like and fucking subscribe. Like nigga, what the fuck is you looking at? Come on, hey man, subscribe. What is you looking at? What the hell is you waiting? Like, see, it's here, man. It's here. It's so fucking easy, bro. Just a fucking play. And go ahead, comment, man. Yeah, let's get to it.
Plug.
Hey, yo, man, we have now this reaction like that video. How we Mitchell was killed. Like, that fucking goddamn motherfucker. Man, let's get to it. Fucking get to it. Forget to like and subscribe again.
February 22nd, 2026. Mexico wakes up in total chaos. Highways blocked by burning vehicles, supermarkets set on fire, airports in panic, and flights canceled. At first glance, it seems like the beginning of a civil war, but this wave of simultaneous violence is the desperate reaction to one single piece of news. Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, better known as elmencho, the leader of the extremely powerful and bloodthirsty Jalisco New Generation cartel, has been killed. After years of a manhunt, the elusive drug lord has met his end. To understand the enormity of what happened in February 2026, we must take a step back and understand who was the man that terrorized an entire nation. Born in 1966 in Michoacan, El Mencho did not love public life and the spotlight like other drug traffickers. He was a ghost, a man who guided his empire from the shadows. In the 80s, at the age of only 19 years old, he was arrested in San Francisco for dealing heroin. After being convicted and subsequently deported from the United States, he even worked as a local police officer before passing definitively to the other side of the barricade. His true rise, however, begins around 2009 when he founds the Jalisco New Generation cartel. The CJNG became, in a few years, the fastest growing criminal organization in the world. In addition to flooding the United States with fentanyl and methamphetamines, the cartel of El Mencho distinguished itself by a disturbing characteristic: its paramilitary power, explosive drones, rocket launchers, and an unprecedented ferocity that spared neither rivals, nor civilians, nor high state officials.
Now, like, I have a question though. How did this motherfucker begin to like, though, you know, you know, that like, this is some crazy ass shit for real.
But how do you catch a criminal who has at his disposal a private army? The answer arrived from a fatal mistake exploited by Mexican intelligence in close collaboration with the United States. And, as often happens in the history of great criminal bosses, the weak point was his inner circle. The secret agents, monitoring the movements of one of the romantic partners of Oseguera, discover a scheduled meeting in an isolated ranch in the mountains of Tapalpa. It is the opportunity they had been waiting for years. In the hours that precede the dawn of Sunday, February 22nd, the trap is sprung. Special forces and infantry, supported by helicopters, surround the area. But the reception is brutal. The personal guard of El Mencho opens fire with grenade launchers and heavy weapons to cover the escape of the boss, who
Why is my man fucking drip though? Like, with the stuff, hey. Am I tripping?
throws himself desperately into the thick surrounding woods. El Mencho is tracked down among the trees, severely wounded by bullets, together with two of his bodyguards. He is captured alive. The military authorities organize an emergency air transfer towards a hospital in Mexico City, hoping to save him to put him on trial. But it is too late. Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes dies in flight. At 59 years old, the reign of terror of El Mencho closes. But such a rapid, lethal, and ruthless rise could not pass unnoticed beyond the border. For the United States, the Jalisco cartel was not only a criminal organization, but a true and proper threat to national security. The American Anti-Drug Agency considered elmencho the #1 responsible for the fentanyl epidemic, the synthetic drug that was literally devastating the streets and cities of the United States. For this reason, on his head was placed one of the highest bounties ever offered in the history of crime, $15 million. Behind the scenes, the political pressure of Washington on the Mexican government had become unsustainable. American intelligence started to weave an invisible net, intercepting encrypted communications and employing high-altitude surveillance drones. Without this massive technological support and without the continuous tip-offs from the United States, finding the ghost would have been almost impossible. The final objective of the Americans was clear: capture him alive and extradite him to bury him in a maximum security prison in Colorado, exactly as had been done with El Chapo. As soon as the news of his death spreads, the CJNG literally unleashes hell. The cartel's protocol is clear: create the most total chaos to terrorize the government and paralyze the army's movements. In a few hours, over 85 narco blockades are registered in 20 different states. Fundamental cities like Guadalajara are completely paralyzed. Prisons are assaulted, including a violent prison break in Puerto Vallarta. Pharmacies and supermarkets are set on fire. The government finds itself forced to deploy a colossal force, over 10,000 troops in a few days to quell the riots, in a true and proper display of military force that costs the lives of dozens of National Guard agents and suspected criminals. The killing of elmencho is without a doubt a monumental blow. But the bloody history of Mexican drug trafficking teaches a harsh lesson. When you cut the head off the snake, often others are born. We already saw it in 2016 with the definitive capture of precisely Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. At the time, it was the power vacuum left by the arrest of El Chapo that allowed elmencho and his newly born Jalisco cartel to expand like wildfire. Today, 10 years later, history risks repeating itself in reverse. The absence of an authoritarian figure like elmencho will almost certainly trigger a ruthless war of internal succession. But now that the ghost has fallen, who will take his place at the head of the Jalisco New Generation cartel? The answer to this question is the real nightmare of the Mexican government. The natural blood successors, like his son Ruben, known as El Menchito,
Yeah, oh man.
Nuke the whole generation.
What the fuck? These dog leaders making just take away. Say that, hey man, you gotta wait. Come on, bro.
have already been neutralized for some time and extradited to maximum security prisons in the United States. This leaves the field open to his most ruthless lieutenants. On one side, there is Hugo Gonzalo Mendoza Gaitan, alias El Sapo, a brutal hitman known for having orchestrated the worst massacres of the cartel. On the other, there is the stepson of elmencho, Juan Carlos Valencia Gonzalez, nicknamed El 03, who commands the highly feared elite assault groups of the organization. Without the authoritarian and centralizing figure of Oseguera to maintain the balance, security experts are certain that the cartel will split. The real carnage that awaits Mexico in the coming weeks will not only be against the forces of the state, but a fierce, ruthless internal war between these bosses to conquer the crown and the billions of Jalisco. The fall of elmencho is a strong symbol, but the empire built by him, made of weapons of war, ruthless control of the territory, and billions of dollars, fruit of smuggling, will not disappear overnight. We are facing a turning point for the history of Mexico and the global fight against drug trafficking. But according to you, will the death of elmencho truly mark the end of the Jalisco cartel? Or will it only give start to an even darker and more violent chapter? If you like this video on the fall of elmencho, on my channel, you can find many other incredible stories animated in
This shit Fellas love that shit, man. The drug addicted shit, man. So just keep the weed, man. Don't get my fucking weed. I love weed. The weed now, the cannabis now. The fucking burn all the motherfucking drugs. Yeah, don't do drugs. Fucking do